It's 3 o'clock.
I'm going to mute. I'm going to mute because I need to go say a couple of hellos and then I'll be back.
But we see you here.
Very good.
And Diana's here. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep. Diana's in too. So we have our quorum.
Good.
Yeah. Hey, I ended up at the doctor with my daughter, so I'm going to be on.
Okay. I think what I got was what I got was that you're at the doctor with your daughter, and that you'll be in and out. So,
there you go. Yes, but I'm here.
Okay, perfect. That's all we care about right now. And I hope, and we hope that your daughter is okay.
Yeah, she will be.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, then feel free to mute yourselves, and we will go ahead and full steam ahead on this. So David, it looks like it's just us. So.
Well, JR and Susan and.
But I mean to actually
Yeah.
For discussion for the board, it's us until Diana can mute in and out and all that else gets.
Got it.
Okay, so we need to call the meeting to order officially.
Yep.
Our only agenda item is to discuss and vote on approving the resolution or the information for CCDD to put on their boards. Susan, specifically, what is it that you need the motion to say?
Well, Gary Moyer suggested that we do a board resolution or a motion in order to request the same number of, they said 8 in 2019 or more, for the sheriffs for the Halloween details. So JR has that information. JR, can you, so it would just be
what was actually done in 20, what was JR, what was the actual number? Because I think the one thing that we had seen that Kevin said was like 12 or 13, was 15. Yeah, it was big. Yeah, I thought it was a lot more. Okay. JR, can you confirm that?
You're on mute, JR.
Oh, now you're unmute. You're muted again. JR?
Yeah,
oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second. I'm looking for the email that I had forwarded to CDD that broke everything down.
Okay.
But wasn't the intent that we wanted the same coverage as 1 year ago? I mean, wasn't that where we left it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Susan is nodding
Do you
her
want?
head.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we just need a motion to approve the
Okay, well,
the communication.
Can I,
Go ahead.
can I jump back in before you approve anything?
Yep.
Last year they had 32 deputies. They had 6 on bicycles and 26 assigned.
Really?
Wow. Do you happen to
And
know
I
what
did
it
confirm
was?
this.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
No,
I did
go.
confirm this with the sheriff's office.
And their reasoning behind this now is because we are mid-COVID and they do not believe we are going to need it. Is that what I'm understanding?
From who? From CGD or from the sheriff's office?
Or from the sheriff's office. That is why they are not asking for this. Is that correct?
From what I've been told, that's not necessarily the facts, but I don't have everything here.
Okay.
But I've been told that they did approach CDD with a recommendation, which was not.
Which was the 8, which was the yes, or 4 or whatever it was. Okay. So we will need to motion that we duplicate what JR has just recited to us, because it is a Saturday and people will be coming whether we are having Halloween or not.
And whether we discourage them, I mean, even with discouragement, they will be coming. So to Brian's point last week, expecting more than before.
Distinct possibility.
Yeah, it's a possibility. So our request, our motion, to your point, Vanessa, is have at least the same coverage as a year ago.
Per the information JR has provided
Right.
to the Sheriff's Department.
32 deputies,
Right.
six on bicycle.
Correct. Is that, do I have it? So is that your motion then, David?
I'll make that motion.
Should
Do I
we
have a
also
second?
say that, should we also say that we think 4 is wholly inadequate? Just in case he says, there's no way in hell you're getting 32, because he's not running for a re-election. He just might say, screw you, to use a technical term. But, you know, I think we need to also say 4 is totally inadequate.
Well,
Brian,
I think
of the
that,
four,
Go ahead.
4 that they're providing right now are just bicycles.
I know. I mean, we won't even have any traffic police at World Drive, 192 in Celebration Avenue. I mean, some basics.
JR, do you
Right.
happen? Go ahead.
What I have from the sheriff's office is all the assignments from last year to where everybody was placed.
okay. So then we just need to say we want that duplicated, period. And yes, go ahead, Susan.
I was going to say, JR, can you clarify whether or not the deputies were paid an additional, I know in the past we paid an additional $10 per deputy per hour, you know, because that needs to go into this as well.
The last time that occurred was 2017. Both CROA and CDD added an extra $5 per deputy at that point. 2017 had 12 deputies and 2 sergeants, and then 2018 had 16 deputies patrolling.
And we did not pay for any of the last 2 years, correct?
I'm not aware of any, no. 17 was the
Okay.
extra $5, yes, but 18 and 19, I'm not aware of any.
And we would have had to approve it as a board. I don't recall making that approval last year.
I don't recall that.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Because we still have a motion, but no second to David's motion.
Can we add on to David? David, are you willing
Yep.
to add
Oh, I'm
that 4 people is wholly inadequate?
Yeah, actually, part of the motion could be 4 people is totally inadequate, particularly considering that in 2017 it was 12 deputies and in 2018 it was 16.
Yeah.
So it just adds more fuel to the history.
And this is a Saturday.
And,
I mean,
and so,
it's
and
a Saturday.
And maybe part of the resolution can also say, poor Laura, I guess she's trying to capture it. I see you. Is that we're particularly concerned because this is a Saturday this year.
I'll second that motion.
So
Okay.
Laura, are you the one who's scribing it? Thank you for that. So
And
go ahead.
go ahead, David.
No.
Well, I was just going to say, and this is a short board meeting, so Laura won't have any trouble re-listening to it.
Oh, in terms of
Are we
But
good?
I think the history, and I think Brian, part of your second is, or part of the motion is 4 is totally inadequate, particularly considering that we had 12 in 2017 and 16 in 2018. So we're asking for the number of 2019, which is 32. Is that a fair restatement? Brian, you okay with that?
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I'm not expecting a yes on that, but at least get a big enough number that we got a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with
exactly.
you. Otherwise they're going to come back with 8 and we're still going to be laughing because 8 is going to be.
That's where I think that
Holy-
longer history, and
Yeah.
I appreciate JR hunting that
Yeah.
down for us.
Anything else that you need from this motion, Susan? Are we good? Okay.
We're good.
We got to vote.
right. Yes, we do. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's what I was asked before we voted. I wanted to make sure we got everything done that we needed to. So, Diana, are you on to be able to
Yes.
vote yay
Yes,
or nay?
Yes, I vote yay on that, and I think that's a good aim high, and hopefully we'll get close to that.
Perfect. Thank you, Diana. Brian, yes or no?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. And I
So-
don't think there's anybody else that's on here. Board
You can
members.
report.
This is
You
it.
can report that it's unanimous.
Yeah.
Oh, can he vote?
Okay.
Can he vote?
Aw. Is there anything else that we needed to do on this meeting, Susan?
No, other than if JR comes up with verbiage for the signs, which I think he'll come up with verbiage for the electronic signs, and that won't be a problem at all. I don't
Well, I know
necessarily
that it got forwarded an email to the board probably a week ago or so, some suggestions. So I didn't, again, how soft or how hard you wanted to go at this.
Hard.
We do have the three signs that we're getting from Sunbelt. CDD was able to get the 2 signs from the county, so they're going to go on the 417 ramps coming in. And then we also have the small marquee type signs from the CDD. So basically the verbiage here, do we want to say is not conducting trick-or-treating or is not participating in trick-or-treating? I mean, how?
We got to think about the balance of residents here too.
I think not conducting is fine. Because some people might be participating still, whether we want them to or not. I think conducting is a little softer. David, I see you thinking you're pontificating. Would you care to pontificate out loud?
Yeah, not conducting.
Encouraging, not encouraging.
Or is discouraging. Is
I think
what are we doing? We are discouraging, but that's not
per
prohibiting.
CDC guidelines. Yeah, per CDC guidelines, we are discouraging door-to-door trick-or-treating.
So JR, with the different types of signage, the electronic ones, do things, you have more opportunity for more letters or more words because they rotate? I mean, I don't know the technology on how that.
Yes, the electronic instruction signs, we can, I mean, you could do multiple, but I wouldn't go any more than two screens, but you can put the message over 2 screens.
Well, it's like with
it'll rotate.
So it's good. So like Vanessa said, per CDC guidelines, next screen, celebration discourages door-to-door trick-or-treating. I don't know if that'll all fit.
That's the general message that I'm comfortable with, and how you choose to communicate that on a screen is something you need to figure out.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine.
I agree.
But,
is that fair?
I'm good. Yeah, the message of discouraging.
Well, Diana, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I think we need to be pretty firm, otherwise they're just gonna come anyway.
Yep.
So, but it's gonna have to be something that they can read it and read it while they're driving. That's what I'm concerned. I'm glad you asked the question about whether it goes on 1 screen or 2. Yeah, we need to have something they can read.
And some of them will only have 1 screen because it's fixed letters.
Yeah,
right.
The black and white, like the black letters on them. Yeah,
well,
I understand.
I think it's fair, JR, if you're good, because we have 2 minutes before we have to switch over to our other call. JR, I think the information that you have sent has been fine. You've heard some of our concerns with regards to the verbiage. I think just sending maybe to the board one last thing, and we can just unofficially say, yes, that works. Is that reasonable?
Yep, no problem.
We don't need a hard vote on it. So I think we're good. Okay.
And then in the Friday Flash, which is really our residents, you go and do the backstory. You talk more.
Yeah, and the notice to the public outside of Osceola, outside of celebration needs to be more firm with. We're just not doing it here.
Exactly.
Okay. Are we good with this, or do you need anything else from us, Susan, JR, anybody, Laura? We good?
Nope,
we're good.
Okay. Thank you all very much. I appreciate this. Susan, thanks for getting this together. And now we're going to switch over to the other call. Thank you all. Have a good one.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Joseph.